Jay Thakkar is now joining us. Jay, what does this tell you? You know, we had first RBI governor news flow coming in, markets open gap down. Then we saw a very smart recovery. Right now we are seeing such a big global news flow coming in. That also our markets seem to have, seen by about 4-5% decline.
Hi, good afternoon, Pankaj. Well, we have seen this gap down opening today, and so moreover, we have seen that Nifty is trying to fill the gap of today's. But then what I feel overall is the kind of a reversal, Pankaj, which we have seen, especially on the daily as well as the hourly charts. We have seen a breakdown coming from the rising wedge pattern, and still we are holding about the 8,000 levels well, but then we did see a break below 8,000, and Nifty inching below 7992 as well, which was the hurdle in the May series, and we saw the low of panic low of 7927 in today's trading session. Well, Pankaj, what I feel is that now, my belief was that 8,000 to 8,300 would be the broader range for the Nifty, and for the event as well, I expected that that range will continue to hold on, and we won't see a Nifty breaking above 8,300 and breaking down 8,000 levels till the expiry. So that was my expiry view, and still I think on a closing basis, if I see, then that still holds on. I think breaking 8,000 on a closing basis will be a crucial thing that can happen. If that happens, then yeah, 7,700 cannot be ruled out. And I don't think that this recovery will be that significant that we will see markets at least till the expiry again inching back to 8,300 levels. So I think yes, more or less we're going to see some consolidation to continue within this range on a closing basis. However, I would like to again say that if we see a close below 8,000, Pankaj, then I think 7,700 is on cards.
Right, but as of now, it's looking unlikely. Most of the writers may have seen some intraday position being squared up, but below 8,000, buying tends to come in?
No, I don't think so. On a closing basis, if we see a break or a close below 8,000 levels, then Pankaj, it would be a false breakout than which we had seen in the May series, which happened a day before the expiry of May. So I think to hold true, or to confirm that the uptrend is intact, the index has to close and remain above 8,000 levels. If it does not, then I don't see that close below 8,000 will then initiate some buying at lower levels. In fact, that would create a panic, or that would confirm the downtrend, or the trend has reversed or from sideways or up to negative. So I think below 8,000 levels, there is no way one should actually enter longs, as then we would see Nifty sliding towards 7,700, maybe 75, who knows. But then the downside risk will open up, and for that I don't think that one should actually buy on declines till we don't see that the fall entirely has not has gotten complete. So till we don't see that evidence, I don't think that one should buy. Now one can still remain stock specific, Pankaj. I think till this range holds on closing basis, the range which I have been saying, that 8,000 to 8,300. So if the range continues to remain the same, then I think stock specific activity on the long or the short side can be continued. But index specific, I think one should avoid trading within this range.
Right. How would you go ahead and look at the recovery in Tata Motors today? That's a stock which should have a direct impact because of what's happening to GBP. Can you just tell us your view, or right now it's just about positioning that is making the stock volatile and the trend has become negative?
Well, Pankaj, I have shared my view on Tata Motors many a times on a channel, saying that we would see the levels of almost 485 on the upside, which we almost saw that. And for post that, we have seen this deep cut coming into this trading session in Tata Motors. Now, the reason why I was bullish and we had a target of 485, which almost got met on the upside, the reason was that we saw this stock breaking its crucial resistance of 425. Following which we had seen the break, gap up opening and then a good uptrend. Now in today's trading session, it did break that 425, but there was a minor break. We have seen 421 levels being made in today's trading session, and from that levels we have seen this stock rebounding again. So my sense is that till we don't see a close below 425 on Tata Motors, I don't think that a trend should be thought of that it has reversed from up to down. In fact, it can just be a retest of the breakout, and again it starts moving up. But if it breaks and close again below 425 levels, then I think one should doubt the uptrend. then definitely downside risk will open, and we can see the levels below 370-75 levels as well. So 425 is the level to watch out for on the long side.
Right. You were told about 425 earlier as well. After that, it went to 480. Still, the level remains the same. I think today also it's not broken the 425 mark.
Absolutely, it did break. That's what I've been saying, that it did break, but that was just a minor blip. And we have seen on a closing basis, it has recovered quite a lot. So,
if I look at the day's low, it's 425 exact on BSE.
Great. Okay, I was just looking at the NSE chart and I saw that it made a 421 low. However, it has not closed below that on a closing basis. Today we are not seeing Tata Motors being closed below those levels. So I think that support still holds, and I think that till we don't see a close below 425, I think the traders on the long side in Tata Motors, or those who have positioned themselves for the medium to long term, should not panic. A close below 425, Pankaj, then would open up the downside risk towards the levels of 375. So I think, like I said, 8,000 levels on closing basis on Nifty is very crucial. Likewise, 425 for Tata Motors is very crucial.
Right. Just to clarify, any of the levels that you have spoken about, even the 8,000 level that we spoke, or some of the other levels that we speak, are always on a closing basis. Intraday movement can be a little bit here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not taking this as an intraday basis. The reason is this move which we have seen today, Pankaj, I have taken on a closing basis because it's a move that's been created out of the event. And the day whenever we see these kind of moves out of the event, I think taking a call on closing basis makes much sense, because at the end of the day, what the traders or the positional traders are actually looking out for, carrying their positions or closing their positions. So that's very important. So at the day of event, I think close really matters rather than the intraday high and lows.
Right. As far as, can you just talk to us about Max Financial Services? It's about 5% higher. Any particular, view that you have? It's not a FNO name, but it has done phenomenally well in the last 1 month. And mind you, it's a very well-covered stock, a well-owned stocks by institutions.
Absolutely, this stock has been continuously, Pankaj, making higher tops and higher bottoms. And in today's kind of market as well, this stock is trading quite well on the upside. We have seen, as you said, 5% up. I think till we don't see a good breakdown on this stock or a trend reversal, I think the positional traders who are holding long should continue to do so. I think there's a good triangular pattern or a wedge kind of pattern that's been forming on this chart, and I think it has still much more upside on the chart. I think we can see the levels of approximately that comes from the chart, that comes to around 546 at least in the short term. So I think still we can see around 3-4% jump from these levels. If it manages to surpass the levels of 346, I think, Pankaj, then we can see the levels of almost 575, 580 as well.
Right. As far as some of the beaten down names are concerned, so something like a ONGC, or Oil India, maybe a Reliance. Any sort of view on Reliance and ONGC? These names have not done well. But do you think that, say, if the markets were to make a panic bottom, which it would have today, assuming that it has done that, some of these beaten down names could see flows coming in?
I don't think, Pankaj, ONGC has been a laggard. Reliance somehow, had managed to give a good move on the upside, but then that rally eventually got sold off into. We have seen this stock again reversing from the upper end of its range, which has been forming since last couple of years, almost 4 to 5 years. So Reliance, whenever it comes to those range, upper end of the range, I think we see a sell-off. So any of these stocks, are not showing that kind of a strength or any indication on charts that, for the long term, it's providing now a good opportunity. As far as ONGC is concerned, Pankaj, what I think is the stock looks quite oversold on the weekly as well as the monthly chart. So I think that, yes, we can see some rebound, some good, retracement of the entire fall on ONGC. But that doesn't mean that the stock chart has already shown that the stock has bottomed out for the long term. There is no such indication on either Reliance or ONGC.
Right. Any view on Vedanta or Hindalco? Off late, they were looking quite good in the last few days, but maybe recently you would have seen, after today's move, some sort of panic being created.
Absolutely, Pankaj, we have seen panic coming in today's trading session in all the metal stocks, especially Vedanta, Hindalco, or maybe Tata Steel. But then I think the higher tops and higher bottom on the weekly charts are still intact. The trend has definitely given a shock that the kind of breakout which we had seen and the kind of rally, the way the stocks were rallying on the upside, this kind of a move on the charts really looks destructive, and it makes doubt, it raises a doubt in fact that whether the rally or the upside will continue. So I think what really needs to wait and watch. As far as Hindalco is concerned, Pankaj, I think 93 levels on the downside is very important. Till 93 levels are held on Hindalco on a closing basis, I think the traders can continue to remain long. If 93 breaks, then I think there's a good downside risk that it can again revisit its previous lows. So I think as far as Hindalco, I'm very clear 93 is the level to watch out for.
Right. How would you look at some other metal names, something like a Tata Steel that was down 10% earlier? Also, it has UK exposure, but ahead of, after the event, now how would you look at it at 310, 315?
I think Tata Steel, as I said, most of the metal stocks have seen a good cut in today's trading session, Pankaj. But then, all of these have really reversed the trend on the daily charts. I think we would not see these highs which were made recently that will be taken off that easily. Tata Steel has given a good breakdown from a triangular pattern. Now, taking off those triangle pattern highs, which comes to around 327, makes it very crucial for Tata Steel. So I think till 227 levels are not taken off on the upside, Pankaj, the downside risk or the downside levels are still open for Tata Steel. We are looking out for the levels around 290 initially, and then if it breaks 290, then we can also see this stock sliding till 275. So 327, till that is not taken off, I think stay away from longs in Tata Steel.
Right. Any of the interest in the ADAG stocks?
Well, Pankaj, these stocks are not on, in my radar as of now. Any of the ADAG stocks, especially, Reliance Capital or Reliance Infra, which have reversed from the upper end of the range. Arcom was never in my radar, and especially entire telecom space I have been avoiding. So obviously, Arcom is not the space or not the stock to be in. Reliance Capital and Infra both have reversed from the upper end of the range. And I think till those ranges are not taken off, I think one can avoid both of these stocks. So I would rather say not participate in a dark stock as of now.
Right. As far as any of these India Bull Real Estate, HDIL is concerned, they went down quite sharply in the morning. They have recovered, but still down. Do you think the charts are getting spoiled?
Well, Pankaj, I would like to say that these realty stocks had seen a good up move, and any kind of news, negative news in the market definitely calls up for some profit booking in this stock, because we have seen this stock actually going up quite a lot. When I talk about HDI, it has just doubled from its lower levels. From around 55, we have seen the levels of around 105 to 110. So profit booking cannot be ruled out, especially when you get such a kind of an event. You get an excuse or a reason to sell and book some profits and then accumulate this kind of stocks at the lower levels. So I think those who are positional traders, they shouldn't be worried about this kind of moves. I think the overall chart setup is very clear. We have seen a good 5-wave rise coming on the daily charts, following which we have seen some 61% retracement. And again, we have seen higher tops and higher bottom that's been formed on the weekly charts. So I'm very clear on HDI. I think, Pankaj, any decline, significant decline should be utilized as a buying opportunity for a target of around 170. DLF is also one contender, I think, and we have included in our buy list. The reason for that is the recent move which we have seen has been quite an impulsive move. The one which we had seen in HDI, the similar kind of move has been formed now on DLF. That is a 5-wave rise. So I'm very positive on DLF as well. As far as India Bull Real Estate is concerned, Pankaj, I think the previous swing highs are still not taken off. The move has been definitely significant, but the previous swing highs were not taken off. So till that doesn't happen, we would like to avoid India Bull Real Estate as of now. But on the flip side, I would say that definitely we'll keep a watch on that.